you can guess what's going on tomorrow, and we're not going fishing, I'll tell you that. You'll have to stay tuned to see what we get up to on the old 605 Game King. We're heading out into the Gulf.
Coast Guard, this is Tandika.
Good morning, happy Tuesday morning. We are just out in Glen this morning. I have a meeting with council at our design and build project behind us now. There's been an issue with some of the existing drainage not having enough fall, so I pretty much need to meet with council and get their opinion on how we can proceed. It looks like the only two options are digging up a massive retaining wall at the back of the property or putting in a soak pit, and that's council that's just arrived now. So see how we go, I'll bring you along. So the issue that we're looking at today is about where I'm standing is we've got to do our connection on the plans for drainage. Now, I'm not a plumber, but I know water doesn't go uphill. Now, what we've found is coming down into here where we did this repile, the actual drainage in behind here sits about 500 mil lower than where that connection's got to be. Something else that we've found, because I got this CCTV where they chuck a little camera down the Nova coil and they had to check that it was working. And the coil is technically illegal and it heads out onto the neighbour's property. So what I'm trying to get the council to sign off on now is putting in a little soak pit here that any water that comes through that Nova coil can just go into there. Essentially that's the only cost effective solution I can think of. The only other solution, which would be a major, and ideally I don't want to cost the client more than what we need to, but it would be digging up the back of the retaining wall and redoing the coil so we get enough fall. But he's going to be looking at 10-15 grand to do that, because the whole thing will be done manually. So I'll let you guys know how we get on. G'day John, how's it going?
Yeah, good mate, how are you?
Good, thank you. So I've just finished up with council and I've got great news. He's happy for us to put in what's called a soak pit. Now, do you know what a soak pit is?
No.
Cool, so a soak pit is essentially, we dig a big hole and your coil will go into it, and then we fill it all up with drainage aggregate afterwards, so when water flows into it, it just soaks away into the ground, which is why it's called a soak pit. So they're happy with that as an acceptable solution. Right, we are back on our Forest Hill site now, which is in the Waitakere Ranges. How cool is this? In a bit of a forest. We've got Beto coming up on the old skid at the moment. I don't know if you can hear me now while that thing's running, but this is a massive hill. It's actually pretty slippery to walk on. So we've been running to fill up this hill and loading it out into trucks, so it's been pretty challenging to make it all work between the weather, because as you can imagine, this driveway is pretty slippery when it rains. Even now, I'm struggling to walk on it. Here we go, we got Hunter in the digger today. He's just loading out. Might question, any of you earth movers might have questioned why we're doing it like that. Now this driveway, because it's so steep, when the tracks on the skid steer get muddy, it won't make it up the hill. So the skid steer is essentially just staying on the concrete and the digger's having to put it in the bucket.
15 socket on for the sauna, because that's apparently what is required.
Yeah.
And then we open the back of the fridge just to double check if it was a rear entry plug or a side entry plug, a rear entry plug. So we needed to put a recessed power point on that. And then we shut off all the, just to do the last little bit. So fuck all. Installed the fan. So yeah, there's only a little bit left.
Sick. In and out. Love that.
We're going for this. I think the flooring guy said that he'd be done today.
He'll probably be done in a few hours, I reckon.
But if he's not, we can just come back another day when he is done.
Alright, well I'll give him a call now and I'll just see.
You might do that. My tradesman's decided to snap his knee in half.
Oh, that's a up.
He just had weak knees at rugby on Saturday. He plays Friends rugby for Helensville.
Oh, it's because he plays for Helensville, mate. He's soft. There is a job I'm pricing on Kawau at the moment for them. Is that a job you would be interested in? If I can, they want to try use people on the island, but if I can get you in the door, is that a job you'd want?
If you go there, I will go there.
Sweet. I didn't really get much done today. It's one of those things, the day just flies by. So we started the morning off with an inspection with council out in Glen They've approved what I want to do, so that's sick. So that's off with the architect now, getting drawn up. Our Waitarua site, that's going to plan. The boys are off there tomorrow and they're heading up to Puhoi for another job. And I spent the afternoon going through some leads. So We're doing a bit behind the scenes with another company, which I won't go too into, but there's about 3 or 4 jobs I've sent through today. Had a meeting, a phone call, with Josh from Smith & Sons Auckland Central today, which is cool. Shout out Josh if you're watching this. So yeah, gonna go for a coffee with Josh, I believe it was either Friday or next week, and see how we can use each other a little bit going forward. And I also followed up a few quotes that we've sent out. So for a bit of a wild ride today, and I think I might have bit off more than I can chew. Right now I'm just pulling up to Placemakers in Silverdale. I'm going to pick up a couple bags of ready mixed concrete, then drop them off to Puhoi. The boys are just setting up on a slip repair this morning up there. After that I'm off to Sandspit to go launch the boat, heading out to Kawau Island to go look at a job for Smith & Sons North Shore, your local renovation and extension experts. That job's in conjunction with Waikato Sheds. They've got a good national build agreement where you get good workmanship and also a great product through Waikato Sheds, so that'll be pretty cool. Then back to land, I've got to run out to Taupaki for another job for both of them to go look at. That one's pretty cool. There's a fair bit of earthworks involved in that one, and a slab and all sorts of bits and bobs, so it's going to be a bit of a wild ride today, and I'll bring you guys along for the show. Concrete secured. Let's get out of here. Thank you. That you can turn somewhere and it swaps it over from cat controls to normal controls. I'm gonna unload all the concrete at the top of the driveway. Yes. If you need something to do at some point, just run Hunter's ute up. Because I was gonna wait till Dale's out of here, but he'll be a while, so sweet, all good. I'll catch you later, eh? Just stopped off in Puhoi briefly. We're just working on a slip on Green Hollows Road, and now I get the boat down the driveway because there's bloody trees in the way. So now I've got to walk up the freaking massive driveway to go get back into the ute. Running a bit late. It's 22 now, 20 to 9, and I've got to have the boat in the water by 9 o'clock up in Sandspit, which is 34 minutes. So I'm probably about half an hour behind schedule so far for the day. So not ideal to start the day off like that. I also fucking had a concrete bag break on me. So yeah, the joys. How good though. What the hell? What are you doing? Go off the road. Only in New Zealand, eh? You got sheep running down the road as you're cruising through Puhoi. What I should have done. Hopefully I'm alright. I realised I had a bust up when I didn't have my bloody rope on the bow. I was like, oh, that'd be handy, thank you. Oh fuck, I probably should have bloody put a rope on the bow, eh? Do you work here?
Yeah,
detailer. Sick. That'll be a pretty cool job. How long have you been doing that for?
So, I've been on super yachts for about 15 years.
Sick.
Yeah.
Is it as cool as it looks on TV?
Way cooler.
Yeah. Now the old hope it starts up, eh? Hey, there we go. Sick. Thanks, man. Have a good one, eh?
Hello.
Jeremy, g'day. It's Hayden here from Smith & Sons. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Very good. I was just giving you a call because I've just got the boat on the water and I'm leaving the Sandspit Marina now, so I'll be there in about 20 odd minutes to Schoolhouse Bay.
Nice, yeah, I'm just sitting there waiting for you, so nice and
Yeah. Not a bad spot to sit and wait, eh?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
Hard life, eh? Yeah, sweet.
I reckon.
Alright, I'll see you in about 15-20.
Sure, take
So I just got off the phone with Jeremy, who is my ride at the other end. We're just leaving the Sandspit.
Coast Guard, this is Tandika, Zulu, Michael Zulu, 8240 for a trip report, over.
Tandika, Coast Guard,
Yeah, just departing Sandspit, 1 POB towards Schoolhouse Bay, going to be returning back to Sandspit, 1300 hours, over.
that's a rest. Good morning.
How good, so we're just departing Sandspit right now, heading out to Schoolhouse Bay on Kawau to go check out a job. I looked at catching the ferry over, and the way the ferries worked, I had to sit on the island for about 5 hours, and I was like, fuck it that, I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to take my boat and I'll be over there in 20 minutes, look at the job, and back in a 20. So flying about probably 10 knots today, but once we get up to speed, we'll be cruising at about 30 and should be there in about 15, I reckon. So yeah, see how we go. Bit of chop going on, eh? Boat's just going bloody sideways. I think as well because we're catching a lot of swell from the ferries that come in and out. So all of their weight's just smoking us. So we're at speed now and sitting at 25 knots, going off the GPS. We should be there in 10 minutes. How sick. Old better work stories, hey? So we're on Kawau at the moment
Finished floor height is going to be up here. It's going to be about 1 metre off the ground. We're going to have water tank, which is here. That's going to get shifted over here. Septic system, which is to be confirmed, is going to go in here. We're going to have a deck run off 3 metres off that way, hook along to the edge of the building down there, and a little return coming up to meet finished floor height here. All the piles are going to be screw pile pending geotech report, and just a timber subfloor pretty much. He wants a 9mm ply lining on the inside of it. Apart from that, we're just stopping at lock-up stage and he'll take the rest of it over. Sorry, back to the deck. It's a pine deck and pine balustrade as well. That's pretty much the gist of it. Right, so that's us done. It's 11 o'clock. What time did I launch? I think I was on the water by 9:30. So I've just gone and looked up at a house just there. There's you'll see in the video anyway, but platform and little job to do for Smith & Sons North Shore and Waikato sheds. It's pretty sick over here. So we've got the local digger operator, and yeah, we're tail end of winter. We'll be ready to go on this one. Now I've got a 3 o'clock meeting out in Taupaki, which you'll see later on. That's for a build, and yeah, I don't know, we'll see how we go. Just left the moored up. The owner was gonna catch the ferry back at 3 o'clock, and I was like, what are you doing? Are you just hanging out for the rest of the day? So he's gonna jump in with now, saves rounds. He's just boosted up the hill, go drop his RAV4 off and run back down, and off we go. So I'll get fired up and just wait for him. So that wind's picking up a little bit. What I think I'll do, we'll unhook the boat now, get it all ready. He reckons he'll be back in about 8 minutes. I might even have a quick feed now, and we'll be back on the mainland in about half an hour. How's this thing going? Righto, so I'm just going to bring you guys along for this now. So what we're looking at here is going to get built out for a deck. So the deck's just going to run hard along with the edge of the building line. There's going to be a French door going in here. The decking material is to be confirmed. This will just have acro props going up onto this, so this can just stay. Going to come through here. This will just give us a bit of a rough idea anyway. So carpet's going to get ripped up. All of these things are going to get taken off. New paint, new skirtings. Doors will probably get redone. Pretty much this whole project is just that. Okay? This whole project's a bit of a gut the inside and make it look new without doing any consented work. We're off to site to meet with a local builder. They've got a dig out they need done. Looks like it's under a house for an extension sort of thing on Kenmure Road in Forest Hill, which is kind of cool. We've done probably our first semi-decent job as a company rather than a sole trader was on Kenmure Ave in Forest Hill, so it's sort of cool heading back there. I haven't actually looked at the plans for this one yet, but I know from what Alan said, the reason we can't price it off the plans is the heights are no good. So I've got the trusty Moser with me, and I'll just do a bit of a measure up and work out how much earth has to come out and go from there. Right, we've just finished up on Forest Hill, Kenmure Ave with Hoffman Construction. What a sick ute that is. This one's just for a little basement dig out that he's pricing up at the moment. And yeah, we'll see how we go with it. We're gonna have a quote back to him by mid next week. We'll go see how we go. Yeah, just whatever you think's best. And at least I can go back to the homeowner and just say, look, within your budget, this is all we can do. If you can extend your budget, you can have all the trimmings on top. We are in Puhoi at the moment. We're just picking up a couple of coffees at the moment for the boys up in Green Hollows Road. So we've had a pretty busy morning so far. Went out to Forest Hill, looked at a job. Been in discussions with about 4 or 5 sub-trades for a project we're doing in, I don't even know where it is, out Kimi ways. That's got like a massive barn going in for a shed build. Some real cool stuff going on in the background at the moment. And I think the next 6 months are probably going to be our best 6 months we've ever had. Just constantly trying to improve everything that we can within the business.
Fuel consumption on a Komatsu D61 is 25 to 30 litres an hour. Would mention me, it probably burns 300 litres in a day, which is $1,800 with 55% margin on.
What the fuck? That's got to be running at full though, surely.
Yeah, so heavy work is 25 to 30, light to moderate 15 to 20 metres an hour.
But on paper it's right, but practice, because time, you could be sitting there up or you know what I mean?
Yeah, just try and give these day rates accurately, without fucking underquoting it. Alright, you gonna call them?
Yeah.
Friday morning,
It's 9:30 at the moment. I've just finished up meeting with a potential design and build client in Kaupaki. What we've done is we had a meeting on Wednesday where we did a walk through the property and went over the scope. So I've just done a proposal for him. It's about double what he wants to spend on it, which is fine. So we've just gone and made some notes and tweaked it to figure out we can sort of spend money on the things that he needs to spend money on, because there's a lot of wants within the current scope, and it looks like it's just going to be the needs that we're going to do right now. And so right now we're just on our way to another meeting. This one's in Herne Bay with Josh from Smith & Sons Auckland Central. It'd be good to look at partnering with Josh for some up and coming projects and sort of see where we're at. I know Josh is pretty into all of his social media and stuff at the moment, just like me. So we did also have a bit of a bust up. Yeah, had a project that I took on, and the homeowner's going away out of the country, and they had a deadline. The weather the past few weeks has been absolutely terrible. So it sort of pushed us right up against that deadline, and I took a gamble and I lost. So yesterday we've done the topsoil on that job. It was looking absolutely sensational yesterday, and today it's raining absolute cats and dogs again. So what that means is all of our topsoil's absolutely fucked. There's like ruts from rain where the water's running off has like gone into the topsoil. It'll be fine in a couple days, but it'll need about another cube of topsoil brought up to do all the hydro seeding. Once the seeding's down and it's had about a week to sort of germinate, the seed will hold all of the topsoil together, but it's just too fresh, and unfortunately I'd sort of rolled the dice on it and lost. What an absolutely massive week. We looked at about 15 jobs this week. We won 3. Looked at some of our probably bigger jobs. We spent a lot of time improving some of our pricing software, % better, 1% more efficient sort of every single day. Had a job that we finally managed to squeeze in, only for it to rain the next day and ruin everything that we did. Half the time, just trying to get everything, I guess, 1% more efficient, 1% better, more accurate every single day. We've got way too much work on, which is really nice, but now I have a fear of letting people down, so there's the other side to that. So I've got like a list of subcontractors that we're going to start relying on a lot more. Unfortunately, to some degree, it's a little bit of a race to the bottom among that select group that we're going to let in. We're pretty much going to price the job, win the job, and then put it out to probably 2 subcontractors and see who can do it the cheapest out of them. As much as I want everyone to make money, I mean, so do we, and unfortunately it's just the way it is at the moment. That being said, like, I know I can definitely get even cheaper elsewhere, so we're still trying to give work to our mates, people that have helped us along the way. But yeah, tough times at the moment, so yeah, but that's pretty much it. What's the time? It's nearly 6 o'clock on your Friday, shutting up shop for the night.